Now, the UN Secretary-General is calling for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza. Antonio Guterres alleging violations of international law have been committed in the enclave since the conflict broke out. The comments made at a high-level session of the UN Security Council angering Israel, prompting a tough response. Take a listen.
I'm deeply concerned about the clear violations of international humanitarian law that we are witnessing in Gaza. It is important to also recognize the attacks by Hamas did not happen in a vacuum. The Palestinian people have been subjected to 56 years of suffocating occupation.
Abigail, 3 years old. Tell me, what is a proportionate response for killing of babies? How you can agree to a ceasefire with someone who swore to kill and destroy your own existence? How?
For more on this story, here's France 24's Jessica Le Mazurier reporting from New York.
It was a really heated Security Council debate on the Middle East. Both the Israeli and Palestinian foreign ministers gave emotive speeches. Palestinian Foreign Minister Riyad al-Maliki demanded an end to the killing of Palestinian civilians. He said that only peace will bring security for Israel. He added that nothing can justify what Israel is doing and described it as a collective punishment. Now, Israel's Foreign Minister Eli Cohen dismissed calls for proportionality, and he said that his country's objective is to destroy Hamas. He described Hamas as the new Nazis. Well, before the foreign ministers addressed the Security Council, the Secretary-General spoke, and he called for a ceasefire and for the protection of civilians, for international humanitarian law to be respected. He said that the Hamas attacks didn't happen in a vacuum, however, and that the Palestinian people have been subjected to 56 years of suffocating occupation. Now, Israel's foreign minister took offence at that and cancelled a meeting with Guterres. Jordan's foreign minister said Israel appeared to be above international law, and he urged an end to what he termed as double standards in dealing with this conflict. Now, several member states are calling for a ceasefire. French Foreign Minister Catherine Colonna has called for humanitarian pauses during this meeting. She said that could eventually lead to a ceasefire. Tensions between the US and Russia were ever apparent. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken attended the meeting, and he said that humanitarian pauses must be considered. But a Security Council resolution drafted by the US does not, at this time, call for either a ceasefire or pauses. And Russia's ambassador was keen to point that out at this meeting. He said that Russia would be putting forward its own resolution, which would call for a ceasefire. Now, two resolutions have already failed to pass in the Security Council in the past days, and two more could be put to a vote in the coming days. Ecuador warned that the Security Council must not become an arena for rivalries.